Welcome back, everyone, to the Built for Anything podcast. I am your host, Hertz, and today I got the lovely Desiree Phillips on the podcast. She is a makeup artist here in Dallas, an entrepreneur. She has an eyelash business, and we get into some really good conversation. We talk about the makeup industry, not just from the female perspective, but we also talk about it from the male perspective and how guys feel about women that we feel wear a lot of makeup. Fellas, don't say I didn't have your back on this one. You definitely don't want to miss this conversation. It's going to be a really good one, guys. I think you're going to really enjoy it. And if you do find value in my podcast, please consider signing up to my Patreon. The link will be below. Some of the benefits include that you'll be able to watch this podcast before anybody else, before it hits YouTube, as well as some other benefits. So you're not only just supporting the show, but you get some good content out of it. I think that's a good deal. So without further ado, Desiree Phillips, enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Built for Anything podcast. I have a very beautiful guest with me today, Desiree Phillips.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show. Please tell people a little bit about yourself.
My name is Desiree Phillips. I'm 26 years old. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee.
Shout out to Memphis.
I've been here for about 3 years now. I didn't get into makeup right off back. I didn't start wearing makeup till I was in 12th grade. Mm-hmm. And then when I graduated from high school, going into to college, that's when I started really getting into the artistry, practicing on my friends and my teammates and stuff. And so I was a major tomboy growing up. So dresses and wearing my hair down, none of that was ever the thing for me. But yeah, I've been here for about 3 years, and I'm just trying to manage two businesses at the same time. I run an e-commerce business as well. I sell lashes online. So those are the things that I'm doing now. I also model on the side. So
okay. What got you into that?
It was one of those things where everyone was like, you should model, you're beautiful and stuff. Yeah. I used to brush it off and be like, I don't know. But I started, taking pictures and stuff and getting more comfortable in front of the camera. And so I just say, hey, wherever it takes me, it'll take me. So I kind of do it part-time, like on the side when people want to, have things for their clothing line or something like that. So I kind of help out with that aspect. So yeah, I've been doing it for a little bit. So.
And you can model your own stuff, obviously.
Yeah, that too.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So you are an MUA, a professional MUA.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who are listening, probably unaware, MUA stands for
makeup artist.
Makeup artist.
Yeah.
Now you've done for celebrities. You mentioned bridal.
Yeah.
TV. That type of thing.
Yeah.
What's probably the best experience you had, and probably the worst experience that you had in doing that?
Honestly, I've had really great experiences doing makeup. I think just the person that I am, I have a great energy. People feed off of that. So I really haven't had any bad situations or anything like that. So all of my experiences have been great so far. So let's hope we keep it that way.
Okay. And how long would you say you was doing it? How long has it been now?
I've been doing makeup for 4 years, but I've been an entrepreneur for 2 years. So I'm in my second year of doing it full time. So
full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Talk about how did you even get to that point of where you could really rely on this as your day to day?
Okay. So, graduated from high school, going to college. I went to a 4-year college. I went to Missouri State University on a 4-year scholarship to play basketball. So like I said, beauty was never a thing. It was sports. Going to the pros was, my dream. Mm-hmm. So when people see me now, they're like, Desiree, how are you? A makeup artist, Mm-hmm. So after graduating, I moved back home to Memphis. Mind you, my first job, I graduated with my criminal justice degree.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be in forensics. I wanted to do forensics. but that
Okay.
changed. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Quite a shift.
moving back home, my first job, I was a hostess at Hard Rock Cafe downtown. And that just opened my eyes to the system, you know, like I just got a degree. I just went to school for 4 years. Why am I a hostess at a restaurant? So, but on the side, I was still, you know, doing makeup and like really learning the artistry. And so I stayed there for about 6 months as a hostess, and then I got a job at behind a beauty counter in Macy's as a beauty advisor. So that really got my feet wet to learn the different products and, you know, getting comfortable with working on different ethnicities and things like that. So mind you, God's timing is everything. Like everything
was on time.
Was 6 months. Like I stayed there for about 6 months, and then I was like, I need a change. Like I didn't move back here for this, you know? So I was like, it was either Dallas or Atlanta. So, and I just felt like Atlanta had a lot going on. It was just too oversaturated for, you know, makeup artistry. So I was like, Dallas, and why not grow with the industry? So it happened. Everything happened so fast. I started looking for jobs. I started applying for jobs in the mall in North Park Galleria. And I got a call back from, the manager at Chanel. So they called me back. They wanted to interview me. So I came down here. They interviewed me, and then they were like, we want to interview again. And so I had the second interview that went well. And then they were like, we want to give you the job. So I was like, oh my God, how am I going to, and they wanted me to start like next week, right away. So I was like, I don't have a place down here. I don't stay down here. So I had to, you know, figure that out. And, I moved down here, and I started the job there. It was wonderful, but retail hours, you know, were kind of shitty. So, you know, working on the weekend and didn't have really time to yourself. And my ultimate goal was to become a makeup artist full time. So I ended up, stayed there for about 6 months, and then I got a job at a law firm and as a receptionist. So that opened up my weekends. Okay. So that allowed me to take in more clients and, you know, gain clientele. And then it was just all a grind. It's all about a hustle. That's what this is. Entrepreneurship is about hustling and, you know, building your brand and things like that. So, Did you have
people around you, close family, that was, like you said, you went to school for one thing, got your degree, and now you're shifting to this, where that at first was like, you sure you want to do this? Or can you really make a living off of that? Yeah. Like, were you getting those type of
vibes? For sure. Especially my mom, like, she was like, you need a 9 to 5, you need insurance, da, 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 da. I'm like, Mom, you're not helping. I don't need this bad vibes from you, this bad energy. So, I definitely did have, a lack of support at the beginning, but when she started to see how I was flourishing, she then caught on, and then she was like, oh, I see where, you know, this is going. I'm proud of you and everything, and, you know, just keep going. But it was at a point in time where I was like, I got to do what's right for me, what's best for me. So after staying at the law firm for 6 months, I was just like, okay, God, I was like, I know you got me. So it was the fear, you know, and that's the thing, like, fear can hinder you from doing what you really want to do in this life.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, it causes so many other things, depression, anxiety, all those things. And I was just like, God has my best interest. So I just went full time with it. And I've just been going ever since.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, you know, it's funny because when I think of the makeup industry now, I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, this is a big business.
Yes.
When you see
it's
people like
Kylie, industry.
You know who I'm going to bring up. When you hear people like Kylie Jenner being a billionaire just off of that alone. Forget the whole Kardashian thing that's already in place. Just that alone. And then it's interesting, you know, you see artists like Rihanna. It's funny. She even put out the meme where people like, where the music at? And she you go on her page, everything is about, you know, the makeup, the her line, industry. The beauty industry.
Yeah.
What do you looking at it? Are you excited about it? Did you feel like this is a great opportunity, or do you think now you're gonna start seeing a lot of people flooding the space who really don't know what they're doing, but just because they see an ends to this means they're like, oh, let me get in it? Are you seeing that?
I think for me, because I'm so focused on myself and I'm not worried about what other people are doing, the industry is so big, anybody can get in it. It's not oversaturated. Like, people, you can do what you want to do, and there's room for everyone. That person, just because they're doing the same thing as you, doesn't mean, you know, they're going to reap the same benefits that you're reaping. It's all going to be different. So I just try to, you know, focus on myself and focus on my goals, and just keep it moving. So,
Now, I think that's awesome though.
Thank
to
you.
be able to, I think first of all, you got to stay focused on what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
But I think it does also help the industry, right? Because now it kind of sheds a light, because people are saying, damn, like, I didn't know you can make this much money off of that.
Yeah, beauty. And that's one thing, that's the beauty of it. One thing, women are not going to want to stop feeling good or looking good. So it's like, this is going to be around for forever. So, yeah.
What do you, and I don't know if I'm playing devil's advocate, because clearly as a man, I don't really wear makeup. You know, that's not my thing. But I want to address this, right? Because I'm sure you've heard it, right? Where you have people that view women who wear makeup, right?
Yeah.
I guess a lot, because I think every woman wears something, whether it's a lip gloss, something,
deception.
Right? Right? I think the good ones hide it well, right?
Yeah.
But then you have people that feel like, is it because you're insecure about how you look?
Yeah.
So I know, what's the line between, I'm just trying to, you know, I'm looking good for myself, versus people who have like real insecurities, and then it's like they can't live without it. Like, is there that overboard?
I think there are some women who do have insecurities, or just for example, someone may have gotten have scars or whatever, and they want to cover it up. So I think that's the beauty of makeup, because it can cover whatever you want to cover. And at the same time, it's about feeling, it's about how you feel. You know, how a lipstick can make you feel. It can change, you know, your mindset, or you may be feeling down, just broke up with your boyfriend and, you know, you want to get cute. So I think it just goes both ways. And I don't think there's an overboard to it, because I mean, we're human. We all have insecurities. So it's just, when it comes to that point, that person just has to deal with that when it's time. So I think it's both.
Do you come across people that you know that you kind of see them and you're like, girl, you don't really need all that, or you know, you're okay, like, but it's like they just refuse because they just, again, psychologically, like, have you come across
I
that?
have dealt with a couple people, worked with a couple people like that. But I think you just have to keep feeding their spirit and keep uplifting them. And I think for me, for my artistry, I know there's some makeup artists who do the whole transformations that they look completely different. But for me, I really just want to enhance what you already have, the beauty that you already have. So you'll still look like yourself, but your features are just enhanced. So, yeah.
And for fellas listening out here, let's just keep it real. If you're on a TV show, or you're doing a movie, bro, they put makeup on you, bro.
You will have to have makeup.
Let's knock it off. like it just, so it's true what you say. I think that obviously there's a line, right, where it's like you said, it's beauty versus
insecurity.
Trying to make a man look like a woman is a different story. But it's like, if you're in front of a camera or you're doing anything. And I've seen the difference with some of the people I see all the time on TV. You know, when they just, you know, they got them out of bed and told them, hey, get on this. I'm sure you've seen it, right? Like, you'll see certain broadcasters. You like, man, bro, you look washed. Like, you see them on Instagram and without the makeup. And it's like, yo, you look like 30, like you aging, bro. But when you see them on TV, they look the same every episode. They make sure that they look the same. But then when you see them, it's like you can see the age. You know what I mean? So it ain't going nowhere. It is what it is.
Is an art. it's definitely an artistry. So
I want to talk about the vegan movement that you're on. The decision that you made. You know, I gotta bring it up. Me being vegan. People who know me who are watching this is like, yo, you know, you gotta bring it up.
Everything is eco-friendly in here,
she
guys.
Got a green smoothie right over here. You know, how did that happen?
Oh man. Okay, so since I'm not an athlete anymore, you know, I can't just eat anything that I want because I'm not working out 45, days a week. So I was like, I just want to change. I'm tired of eating chicken and feeling heavy, bloated all the time. Like my sister, I would eat and my sister's like, what is wrong with your stomach? You look 3 months pregnant. And I'm like, bro. So I just said, okay, I'm going to try to make this transition. So I cut out dairy, stopped drinking milk, eating cheese, and then I cut out I'm not a steak person really, and I'm not a beef person that much. So mainly it was the fish and the chicken. So I stopped eating chicken and I started doing more fish. And so it was just a transition. I do a lot of, smoothies every morning, Chipotle bowls without, any meat or anything. So, but really for me, I wanted to be an example to other people to know that you can live without these things and that it's best for our health, because there's, so many people dying of cancer and things like that. And, with, high blood pressure, things like that running in our, family, I feel cancer I feel like we can prevent it. And I just wanted to shed light on it and, be an example. And, I was just like, I just want to change. So
how long has it been?
Oh, it's been 4 months.
Okay.
It's been 4 months.
Okay.
But I've been transitioning for a year.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Nah, take your time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the right path.
Thank you.
I think you just have to reach a level of understanding, right? Because there's temptation all over the place.
Yeah.
So if you don't really have like a good understanding as to why you're doing it, it's easy for you to kind of slip back. And I like your point that you bring up. At the end of the day, it's about causing the least amount of harm. It's not a perfect thing. Yeah. It's not. You can be unhealthy and be vegan. Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect thing. However, it's kind of like, the less of two evils, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Right? It's like, okay, if I'm going to be here, let me minimize the damage that I am putting on this earth. Yeah. Because there's going to be other things that you do that's not going to be in alignment. Yeah. But it's like, okay, what are some of the bigger impactful things that I can do? And that's one of the biggest impactful things is saying, okay, I'm going to give up eating this way and then maybe transitioning towards makeup. Yeah. Do they have like vegan makeup? They do, right? Without
all the chemicals and things like that.
Where they don't test it on animals.
That's becoming more of a thing now. Like Fenty Beauty is one, cruelty free.
Oh, okay.
Beauty Bakery, cake bakery makeup. She just came out with her brand. Her brand is cruelty free as well too. So they're making a transition. I think one of the brands that like I'm waiting for to make the transition, but I think it will be something that's going to take a little while longer because they've been around for a long time is MAC. And I'm pretty sure you heard of MAC. Yeah, so
dating a woman and you know what MAC is. I was almost going to say right before you even said I'm like, she's going to say MAC, she's going to say MAC. MAC.
Yep.
That's like the, what do you call it? Like the Versace of the whole, you know what I mean? Like, just
because they've been around the longest. So I feel like they're everybody's making their way around. So, but one thing I would say is being vegan is definitely mental. And I feel like when you can control what you eat, you can control anything. So.
Do you get a lot of people that you work with that would request like, oh, can you make sure the makeup is vegan? Like, are you prepared for that?
Honestly, I haven't gotten a lot of people. Okay. Because I think they know that their companies are making a transition and not most of the brands that are really good for, HD and things like that. They haven't made their way around to it. So not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is a session usually for you?
A session is an hour.
Okay.
45 to an hour. So
okay. So you get through how many a day? On a good day.
On a good day, I would say about 8 or 9. And so,
it's a lot.
Yep. And like if it's a wedding, it's like 8 or 9, the bridal party. So
do you have to kind of be a therapist too, where it's like you mentioned the weddings, and I could just imagine like you got some women that's just like, I don't know, this is great, and you're like, wait, hold on, I'm not done, I got you, it's gonna look good, like don't worry about it.
I get all of that, especially for weddings, because everybody, they want it to be perfect, but for as far as brides, I really had really great brides this year and last year. So but definitely I am a therapist, I would say, when we have sessions, because we're just talking about everything from from relationships to career to everything. So I really enjoy them, because it's kind of like I'm getting to know my client and building a relationship with them, and not only just doing makeup, So
I want to talk about the entrepreneur thing real quick, because I know when we spoke a little bit, you touched on really why you're doing and the example that you want to say. You even mentioned a little bit about it when it comes to the veganism, but you talked about how the impact of it would be in your family, right?
Yeah.
Most of us, us people of color, we're raised a certain way, right? Be a doctor, be a lawyer, work for this firm or whatever. Like it's they want you to take the safe route, and most people, they look around in their family, they're looking left and right, and nobody has a business that they've started. Very rarely, right? Or even successful at that. So for you, being someone who's, okay, I'm going to go this different route, and know that, okay, people watching, meaning, I don't know if you got siblings or other people that are looking and saying, can this be possible? Tell me about why does that drive you?
Okay, so for me, my family is really, really small. Like when I say really small, it's small. Like it's my sister, my grandma, my mom, and my uncle. So that's my immediate family. So growing up, I come from a very creative family. My mom, my grandma, she paints. She's an artist. She paints. And my uncle, he was, I don't know if you know Gangsta Pat, but he's from Memphis, a Memphis rapper. One of the first rappers to come out of Memphis and actually, help 8 Ball MJG and
Okay.
So, and my dad, he was a professional drummer for Miss LA. Okay. So, I would definitely say the creativeness is there, but it was like they didn't get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? So, my working 9 to 5 was the thing, and I'm pretty sure it's for most families as well. And generational wealth is not one of those things that my family carries. So it's kind of, for me, that is what drives me, and that's where I want to get to that next level, so I can be able to set myself up and my family, and for that, and to be able to leave behind things for my family. So I think that's what drives me the most, and just trying to bridge that gap, because we're far behind as a people in that gap. So yeah.
Do you find like a lot of your friends, or you come across women who's like, I want to be friends with her because she might be able to do my makeup? Like, do you get a lot of that?
For me, I prevent that from happening, because I close myself up. I don't.
Girl, just a little something.
Yo, when I say I'm an introvert, I'm an introvert. I can count on one hand of how many friends that I have. So I'm to myself. But I want to get out of that. But for the sake of that, that's why I kind of like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they see it. They're like, wait, she do all right. I could kind of. It's good to have a little friend that could do a little something. When we going out Friday night or whatever.
We all gotta eat.
Nah, I feel you. So is it just you? Do you have like employees? Do you have people that you work with?
Not yet. I do independent contractors. So whenever I have weddings, a big wedding party, I always hire my go-to artist, Simon. Shout out to him. He's a hair and makeup artist. So but eventually that's my goal. So I'm just trying to set myself up to where I don't have to pick up a brush, So
So you're trying to just manage the process.
Yeah.
So is there, I'm thinking down the line, I'm a visionary. I'm thinking beauty salon, like a shop.
Yeah,
like
a shop.
Where you have your products on one end. You got people getting worked on over there. You just working the tables. You just moving around. Yeah, that looks good. You look good right there. You cool. I'll be back at 5.
That's exactly.
You know
that
what I
is
mean?
exactly. And, you know, I heard you and Jeff talk about, you know, product and services, you know, as far as e-commerce as well, too. So trying to set up different streams of income. And not only on that end, but as far as like financial too, you know, setting up the investments, real estate, your portfolio, whole portfolio. So I'm like, it's a process, but I'm like on the right track of, you know, getting it all together. So
I know you said not social media, well, word of mouth is how you kind of get a lot of your business. Does social media help? Do people reach out to you? Tremendously. I would say mostly,
I ask a lot of people whenever they come to me, I'm like, how did you find me? And they always say, you know, Google or Instagram or so-and-so, you know, referred you. So it's all 3. So I'm just kind of keep it all in the balance. Like, you know, I'm focused on my marketing and things like that. So, yeah.
So you've dealt with some celebrities, you said, in the past, right? Like, who's somebody that you were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually like doing this person's makeup?
Okay, so I told you I was a hooper, right? So growing up, I was Skylar Diggins. I used to look up to her so much, like, and it's so crazy. Like, that's how you know God is amazing. So, I met Skylar. I met Skylar through, do you know who Poison Ivy is? DJ Poison Ivy. Okay, well, she's a DJ here. She DJs for the Mavs and also the Wings. So I met her through Instagram, and, you know, we kind of connected. Energy was great and everything. And, you know, I started doing her makeup and stuff like that. And then I got her contact Skylar contacted me because, you know, the connection with me and Ivy. So she was like, is she okay or whatever? So, and then she hit me up. She wanted me to do her makeup. So ever since, we've been working together for her, you know, events or her Puma shoots and stuff. Yeah, it's been consecutive. So that's one of the people that I really enjoyed doing makeup for. So it was just I looked up to you, you know? So now I'm doing your makeup, and so that's wonderful. Yeah.
Because, you know, you hear stories about celebrities and how they just kind of treat the other people, you know, and obviously a lot of these people usually sign things where they can't really speak, but still you hear those stories, and it's usually the people that we look at and we think is the coolest or it wouldn't be the case, and they're the most diva about it. Have you had someone where it's just like they're having like a diva moment and you're just like, I'm gonna just get through this so I can just get home and go about my business. But I swear, if this person reach out to me again, we are done. like we're done.
No, like I've said before, I've had some great experiences with my glam sessions. I mean, Skylar, she's a celebrity. I feel like she's one of us. Like, she's down to earth. She's cool. So I haven't really had any experiences like that. So. Yeah, so it's a blessing to not to.
Who would you I don't know if you have like that person that you're like, man, I would love to work with them.
Rihanna.
You love to her?
I love her. Yeah, definitely Rihanna. And now just seeing her in the beauty industry and like showcasing her products and everything, I'm like, that's amazing. So definitely her.
Even Cardi too. I think like she's kind of getting involved with
beauty.
Yeah. I think some lipstick line, something.
I don't know. I have to look. Maybe the latest picture she just took. I'll have to look back at. Yeah.
But it's becoming way, from what I see. Yeah. And now for you probably, you know,
public figures are getting into more of the makeup, because I mean, of course, if they like her, they're gonna buy whatever she has on. That's like perfect marketing. So
like more and more, I think Is it the younger generation that you think that is just buying it up more?
Oh, for sure.
That's why it's okay.
It's definitely the younger generation because
women's been wearing makeup forever. I mean,
Forever.
it's nothing new.
But my
it's
whole
like,
thing,
boom.
high schoolers, they going to school with a full face of makeup now. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about that when I was in school. So
yeah, you sweat.
It's definitely
you active.
Yeah. So it's definitely changed with the younger generation, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's but
what do you think about that though? I gotta ask you, like, when you see or when you hear of people who do you have kids?
No.
Okay.
No kids.
So, when you see, other people, the kids are super young, and then they have them wear makeup. How do you feel about that? Do you think there should be a right age?
To a certain extent, I feel like if the person wants to wear, lipstick, lip gloss, or a little bit of
kids
mascara.
Now, when you say we talking kids, we ain't talking adults. We saying kids now.
What age are
Parent
we talking
has to
about?
buy them the stuff. They are kids, meaning they can't buy it themselves. They don't have a job. They live like. Okay, well, I feel like. I mean, how young do you need? I mean, they're kids. We're talking about.
Are we talking about middle school, or are we talking about?
I mean, I'm gonna go even younger than that because again, I've seen scenarios where it's like they're putting, certain types of clothing on these kids, and make like I'm talking. Young enough to walk and talk, but not old enough to buy it themselves. And it's like
I'm not really fond of that.
Encouraged.
I feel like that's kind of teaching them to rely on that to feel beautiful. And I feel like when you're that young, you don't need all those chemicals and stuff on your face or so I think to a certain extent, I feel like if they're in middle school or anything, and if they want to wear some lip gloss or some mascara, then to that point, then it's okay. But if they want to do foundation and all this stuff, and it's just too much.
So there's levels to it.
It's levels to it. Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard for me to comprehend as a man. Yeah, but there is levels,
because it's just not one product. It's multiple. So yeah. So
what would you? So this is what you would do if you had a daughter, if you had a child. Yeah. You're okay with, just a little bit of makeup at a young age.
A little bit of lip gloss.
Lip gloss. Okay.
You want your lips to look shiny.
Okay.
You can have your lips looking shiny, but nothing else. Yeah. Until they get to a certain age where they can, like, yeah.
What do you? Again, playing devil's advocate. Because I know a couple brothers are gonna watch it and gonna be like, dude, why you ain't ask? Why you ain't say this? Why you ain't say that? So I feel obligated. I feel like I gotta tell you what we be talking about, man. Because I feel like I can't let you leave and not say what I'm telling you we be talking about.
I feel you.
The thing is, a lot of brothers feel like they almost run away from a woman who wears a lot of makeup because they feel like it's usually to cover up some sort of insecurity. Yeah. And I think the issue with most guys is wear what you want. It's cool. Most of the time, that's what, when we see you, that's what we're attracted to. That's what we kind of think. Yeah. But it's like when all of that comes off, then, right? And it's like a completely different person. And again, we're all kind of flawed, but a lot of us feel like the makeup makes it worse. Okay. Right. What do you say to that? Like, do you get that? Do you hear that? Like, where guys
I've
you
heard
might
that
be talking
before,
to is
and
like,
I've actually talked to my guy fellow about it as well. And I think for me, I feel like the woman has to be able to, like, for me, like, I can come in here. I could have came in here with no makeup on and been okay, and I feel like that's how the woman should be, because she is beautiful without makeup, and she doesn't have to have makeup on. So it does go down to the security part of the woman. So I feel like when guys be like, oh, why she gotta wear makeup or whatever, it's because she want to wear makeup. It's because it's in, I feel like I tell people makeup is not a necessity. It's an accessory. So that's how I look at it. Yeah, I look at it and I feel like other women should look at it like that as well. So, and I feel like men should look at it like that too. So.
I think we do a little bit. It's just there's some scary moments.
But hold up now.
There's some scary moments.
It's
where
some
just
men
like,
out here getting sprayed on hairlines now.
Yeah,
and
they
you
are.
know.
And I don't co-sign it. I don't co-sign it. I don't do the, what they call it? The whole, there's a name for it.
I don't know, but in the beard too.
Nah, let the gray show, man. Let it. It is what it is, man. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It goes both ways.
You got dudes, man. I don't know about dudes, man. I mean, I don't know about all that.
Oh man,
but
that's hilarious.
It's I just bring it up because it's like and I'm sure you've seen like got certain guys of like and then, don't get me wrong too. Yeah. I blame the fellas too because they'll say one thing and then it's like they'll do another. Mm-hmm. So trust me, I get it because like I'll even see people post things about I want a natural this and a natural that.
Yeah.
But then the minute they go outside, the first person that they aiming at is the chick that's not. So it's like a lot of the stuff that the women do. It's like, what would they really be doing if nobody's attracted to them? If nobody says they look good? If nobody they wouldn't be doing. So obviously somebody's feeding into that. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, okay, I'm clearly my man ain't complaining, whoever ain't complaining. So it's like,
but that's so hard though for the woman because if that's all the man likes to see, then it's kind of like that's an upkeep. You can't even be yourself. You can't even walk around with no makeup or your hair crazy or whatever it is. And I feel like that's going to be hard on a woman. So I just feel like that woman should be comfortable with or without makeup or a bad day or a good day, good hair day or bad hair day. So, yeah.
Those fellas got it easy though, man. Cause
you do.
We don't even be worrying about all that. Like the fullest extent is the beard, the haircut. Like
you don't gotta
after
do
that,
much.
it's like
we gotta do nails,
it's whatever. Y'all gotta really do it up.
Hair.
Y'all gotta really maintain.
Man.
For the most part, we don't. Have you been in like relationships where you feel like, or the other person feel like they have to try to keep up
with
because because of the way you present yourself or the way you carry yourself, where it's just like they feel like, damn, she, I told her let's go to movies, man. She looking like we going to the red carpet, man. I gotta do my thing, man, just because. Like,
I think for me, which I'm glad, since I'm like such a tomboy. I mean, I still have my swaggish little ways, I think for me, it's kind of easy. It was easy for, the person I was dating because I can go to the movies and I could throw on some sweats or a hoodie and be like, okay, we're going. So I think for me, I don't put pressure on people because I'm going to be me at the end of the day. I'm not going to come in if we're not going anywhere that needs to, there's a place and time for everything. So yeah.
So no back and forths.
Nah.
Guys are usually pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
We don't require much.
No.
That's what I'm trying to tell women.
Which is great.
We don't really require much.
It takes pressure off of us.
We pretty basic. That's why I think that's why for me it kind of, when I do see like certain women like kind of go overboard, it's like what are you doing? Care, B. Like,
I'm too lazy for all that.
Guys, we don't care about the shoes. We don't care.
I didn't even want to come in here with all this, but
like we good. Like we don't. I think we're so basic because we realize that a lot of times those people that come across that way are usually covering up other issues. They're usually a negative person or they have certain ways about them, and it's like those are not gonna cover up that. So it's kind of like we just want to see like what's the basic level, like what is it, who you are. As soon as we can find out who you are, right? It's like all the other stuff is extra. It's like it's cool.
Yeah, but it's like when they come first time you meet and then you see everything, it's kind of like, okay, who is she?
Yeah,
really?
Exactly.
I feel you. I feel you. But I feel like
thank you.
I feel like the woman has to let her personality shine through all of that, and just be herself. And then whenever all of that comes off, it's still the first person that that you saw and that you met. It's just everything else, like you said, everything else comes with it. So I definitely feel you. So exactly. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you where y'all coming from.
Fellas, I'm trying to, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying to talk to y'all, man. You know what I mean? You got a couple things coming up. It's funny. I was looking at like your, I got to do this link tree for my Instagram too. Because I got a bunch of stuff I need to put. So you got a YouTube channel. Yeah. Right? Is that just kind of starting off? You just kind of in and out with it?
I'm really in and out with it. I'm really trying to focus more on IGTV.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But I mean, you can still post it on YouTube. So, man, all these platforms, it's just gotta definitely, it's a balance. So
yeah, you almost gotta find which one is working for you.
Yeah.
And just kind of dedicate that. Because trying to do too many of these other things, you almost lose your audience. So you just stretch them too far out. It's like, girl, I just want to. So you've been using IGTV. What do? You just kind of show them like what your process is. I can see a lot of that.
The process, or whenever I'm doing makeup on somebody else, or showing them the lashes and things like that. So I just try to keep different content on there. So I'm in the process of doing more content, planning out more content. That's the thing, planning out the content and just getting into that creative mode. And I think lately that's been like the thing for me. So just trying to take one thing at a time and not try to overwhelm myself with so much, So, cause running the business by yourself it's hard,
It is. And hopefully, you have the right people around you. Because that makes things a lot easier. And then, you connect with people who are doing similar things or it's doing more than what you're doing. So that way you can kind of pick their brain or you can kind of, it can help your progression happen a lot quicker if they're willing to share.
For sure.
So you have, and I know we talked about earlier, I'm going to mention this, the Cosign Awards is coming up, right? December 1st.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm still mad you never told me about that a long time ago. I could have got in, man. There's a couple categories I could have got in on that. You know what I mean? But I know you're involved in that. You're going for, what's the category?
Makeup Artist of the Year.
Makeup Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
You feel good about it?
I feel pretty good. I mean, it's just one of those things like I was telling you, if I win, I win. I'm just thankful to be in the category with so many other talented artists, Glam by Sham, Jamie Dion, and Vanessa. They're all great makeup artists that I've looked up to and I admire. So it's just a blessing at the end of the day. And I'm ready just to experience the experience when I go. So,
and that's not the first time, right, that they've done that. They've done a couple times.
Yeah, they've done the Cosign Awards a couple times.
Have you been to some of the previous ones?
No, this will be my first time going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I may show up.
Yeah.
And, I mentioned to you the other day, I think it's pretty cool because, you mentioned your peers and it's one thing for people on the outside to kind of say, hey, I like what you're doing or that's good work. It's another thing to have people who are doing similar things.
Bringing creatives together. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's something about getting the respect of your peers for a particular field of work that you're doing. That means something.
Yeah.
It at least means something to me. I'm sure, it means something to you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll do.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
I appreciate it.
And I'll make sure, I'll put the link at the end of on the video. Now you could adjust it. I'll put the link so that way people can go in and they just got to vote. So people can vote multiple times a day.
Yeah.
In order to kind of get you there.
Yeah.
But I tell you, we talked about it off air. She's just, I love the humbleness. It's just like, it is what it is. You're just going to continue to work, continue to do your thing. You're not going to,
exactly.
it's not going to change your rhythm one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's great, but you have a vision and you're sticking to it and you're just going to work. It's going to be the same thing on Monday.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Same
it's just
thing. Yeah.
Get right back at it.
So,
what's some of the downsides to this business though? Like, are there down periods? Are there, moments where certain things go on in the industry that can kind of hurt your business?
For one, the rain.
Right.
So I mean, that can hinder your business if it's raining too much, storming. People aren't going anywhere. So definitely the weather for one.
The heat too, being in Texas, is it like
I think during the summer times.
Yeah, the summertime.
So, businesses always have like a down time for, business because of the season. So I think for most makeup artists, sometime the summertime, because people are, going on vacation or away out of town. And also like the beginning of the year is when it's kind of slow, slow.
It's kind of slow. Oh, so you have those periods too.
Yeah, there's those periods. So you have to be financially ready, financially like plan, and to be able to get through those the rough patches. So I would say those are the downsides of business. So
which makes sense.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your lashes. I see you have that. Yeah. I'm looking at the Instagram.
Yeah.
Right now. Is that a big thing? Is that something that a lot of women are really specific about?
Love lashes.
Yeah.
That's like crack. They love.
Really?
They love.
I thought the key thing was always the lipstick. I thought was always the thing.
That too, but lashes has definitely become a thing because they just enhance your whole makeup look. They make your eyes pop. So I wanted to create something that was that can cater to the woman that loves that, and so I said, why not run an e-commerce business? So and also cater to all women, but women of color. I see a lot of people who have lash lines that don't show the black woman, So I wanted to kind of change that and also make it affordable, because I see all these mink lashes. They're so expensive. They're like $35. Yeah, and my retails for $14.99. So that's definitly a cut right in the middle. Yeah, right in the middle.
Which I do. Y'all wear one time and that's it.
No, they're reusable. So you can wear them for 15 to 20 times. So how you take care of them. So yeah, that's my little baby. She's growing. So
how long that business been?
It'll be a year coming in December. Okay. So my anniversary is coming up.
Okay.
So stay tuned. I'll be throwing a little anniversary party soon. So
that's what's up.
Thank you.
And I see, on your Instagram page, you put a lot of quotes, very positive.
Yeah.
Which I definitely appreciate.
No problem.
Because I know for myself, when I put out a lot of like positivity online, I tell like a lot of people don't, at least for me, it's like I try to put out things like when I'm in the mood, like like it's a feeling I have or a moment that's going on. It's like
something speaking to you.
Yeah, so it's you kind of put it out there, and somebody's gonna read it and somebody's gonna resonate with it, but you also put it out there. It's almost like a reminder to yourself.
Yeah.
So is that are these kind of reminders to you? Are you speaking probably louder to yourself than you are with anybody else?
I think it goes both ways. I'm speaking to myself as a reminder, why are you are in the place that you are in now. I feel like it's my new self talking to my old self in a way, and then also putting a reminder out there for people that, shoot, we all human. We're going through stuff. We are here to figure this thing out. We're not going to be perfect. And that's why I talk about, I always talk about fear. I've opened up a little bit about, my depression or, because it was a period of time where I was going through it, and people don't want to talk about that because they're uncomfortable about it or, but for me, I'm starting to open up more. This is actually my first time talking on live video, talking about it. So, I just try to put, positive energy, out there and try to be, a positive image for people. So
looking back at it, what did it stem from?
I think mine stemmed from daddy issues, and also just fear too, fear of failing and fear of not reaching my goals and things like that, because we've been programmed to feel like we have to dim down our standards for our lives.
That's true.
And I feel like that's not going to be me. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do in this life, and whatever God puts on my heart to do, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live out the purpose that He has for me. So, it definitely stemmed from, like I said, father issues as well, and with him being in and out of my life, that kind of messed up my relationship too, because trust issues, things like that. So, that's just something that I had to go through by myself. In my past relationship, I was looking forward for him to save me, for someone to save me. And I think that's
filling that void.
And I feel like a lot of us do that. We look for someone to save us, but truly we have to save ourselves. We have to let God save us. And I think that's where my, depression and stuff stem from. But I've been in a great place for a minute. So I just want to shed light on that, and just, if I can be there for somebody, then that's what I want to do, So
what are some of the things you did in moving forward, right? And saying, you know what, I got to make sure that I do my best to kind of not get back into that place. Do you pour yourself into your work? Do you, exercise or whatever? Like, what are some of the things, I'm assuming even to a degree, you changing your diet. I'm sure you're feeding your brain. Right. Yeah. So, but go ahead. What are some of the things that you've done?
For me, the most important thing is keeping God first.
Amen.
Reminding myself that He has me. Like, whatever I'm going through, it's always going to work out. And making a conscious decision to not go back to that place, and I think that's the thing, making that conscious decision, saying that I'm not going to let fear make me feel this way. Like, why am I getting all upset or, getting stressed out over a temporary feeling? So being conscious, keeping God first, being sown into my work, reminding myself that I have a purpose. And that purpose, I have to keep that purpose in mind. And so those are the things that helps me to not go back to that place. So, yeah.
I'm glad you bring that up, because it's like you said, it's more common than I think we acknowledge.
It definitely is.
And even that's why I kind of asked you also, like, looking back at it, where did this stem from? Because a lot of times, if we don't really acknowledge what the issue is, we're just piling keep covering it. It's not going to solve anything, and it catches up to you long term, and it manifests itself in the relationships you have with significant others or friends or whatever the case may be. It rears its ugly head, at some point, until you like, okay, look, what's really going on, or what is it that I'm unsettled with or haven't reconciled with, right? And so you did the work, because it's work.
Yeah,
you got to do the work. And it's an ongoing thing, but you learn from it. You grow, become a better person.
Sure.
A better, just a better person to be around for anybody, right?
Yeah.
So no, kudos to you. I definitely commend you for that, because I did see that you're very consistent in putting out the positivity on your ass. It's interesting. Just as I'm scrolling up, I come across one. Stop letting depression and anxiety hinder you from becoming the greatest version of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. That's that's true. That's so true.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yeah, and you actually wrote about it, so you probably were kind of telling people exactly where that kind of came from. And it's I have a position on this, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems like a lot of people are bringing up the words, mental health. And I have a little issue with it, because for some reason, when it does come up in conversation, it's like it's mostly targeted towards people of color, people like us. So it's like, okay, are you saying like we're the only ones who are going through certain things?
Yeah.
When I turn on TV and I see certain things happening where it's bombs or shootings, it ain't us. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, what did that person go through? But then when it's convenient, then it's like, oh, this person had a mental issue.
Exactly.
So
when
no, we can't send them. Yeah,
it's like that.
I'm like, wait, hold on. You know, so
yeah.
But I think like going back to what the root of the issue is, and I kind of had a conversation on another podcast that did I release it? No, it didn't come out yet, but we were kind of touching on it a little bit, where I just basically said that, you know, a lot of the issues that go on in the communities, it's like it stems back to the household.
Yeah,
no matter how.
Definitely.
And even Denzel had like a quote. He was talking to somebody, and he even mentioned it. He even went into like further detail, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. And it's like people take it as like an insult, and it's like it's not an insult. It's just it is what it is. And I think when you kind of know what it is, then it's like you that can make a change, right?
Yeah, that won't even bother you
exactly
to think about that. So, I feel like I definitely agree. It definitely stems from it starts in the family. It starts in the household, and you know how the parents, you know,
get along, how they communicate, because that's what you're gonna carry into. That's what you see. I mean, it is what you see.
For example, domestic violence. If you grew up in a family that had, you know, domestic violence in the home, then you're going to pick up some traits or, you know, characteristics where you're like, why am I, you know, you don't know what's going on with yourself, but it's because of what's been going on around you. And that also stems down to every aspect, like, what are you putting in your body? What are you consuming? Like, what are you listening to on the radio? What are you looking at on TV? And I don't think a lot of people, and when I talk about those things, I feel like to some of my some of my friends and stuff, they think that I'm you know, like I'm crazy. I'm like, yo, this stuff is real. What do you mean?
I say it all the time, man. I feel like I live in a meme
creation.
Like, what is this?
Like, I don't get it. Like, as far as like putting chemicals in your body, like, we are supposed to be filled with nutrients and energy and things like that to keep us going. And I don't know. That's why I kind of stay in my bubble.
I agree. But I bring it up because I'm saying to myself, if we acknowledge it, right, as individuals, it just means that, okay, fine. Like, I've been through some things. I've seen some things in households. Like, if you understand, like, the effect that it has on you, then all I'm saying is that when you know, and I say you meaning whoever is a guy or a woman, when you're having a relationship with somebody else, those things. You know. So when you're thinking about your household, you're saying, yo, I got to leave those things out because when I saw those things. Break the cycle. Exactly. Yeah. But it's like, if you just like, nah, you know, it just happens or whatever. And it's like, nah, like, you don't understand a lot of the issues when you rewind it. I've watched countless videos, you know. I was looking at something the other day. I don't know how I tripped on it, but it was this guy, he was the son of some drug dealer who was in Harlem. And basically he was saying, like, this is what he saw in his household.
So and that's why he's going to be comfortable.
He said with his own mouth, if I probably didn't grow up that way, he's like, I wouldn't be who I am right now. Yeah. He's like, I would have been a regular dude. Yeah. Regular job. I wouldn't have been thinking about harming people. He's like, when you grow up in that. Yeah. He's like, it's like, what do you expect? Like, I had no choice. You know, it's just, that's what I was around.
And that's the main thing is breaking that cycle. Because you know these things now, right? So it wouldn't make sense for you to keep making excuses. Oh, I had
this person or that person,
or that. You know, it's kind of like,
house. You know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't have to happen to you, you know? So I just feel like you have to make that conscious decision to be like, hey, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to go down that path. I'm not going to feel like this. I am going to, you know, overcome the barriers that happen. So
it's funny though, you mentioned like your friends, how they just kind of like, they tune up. People do.
Just be like, and it's like, at times I'm just like, I don't even know what to do anymore. Cause but you know, I think you just gotta keep leading by example. Yeah. You just gotta keep. Yeah. That's it. Cause once people see you do it and see that you're successful with it and the benefits that you reap from it, that's when they're gonna be like, okay, girl, what you doing? What's the smoothie that you drink? You know, so
that's how people are. They usually, you know, you gotta be an example rather than tell them it's.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Being human.
Nah, definitely. Was there anything that you wanted to mention? Was there anything that I missed?
I don't know. I think we pretty much covered everything.
We covered a lot.
Yeah.
We definitely covered a lot. Let everybody know, like, where can they find you? What do you have? What are some things that you have coming up that you want to promote?
Okay.
Let them know.
Everyone, if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram. You can follow me at Desiree Phillips, MUA. Twitter, Facebook as well. I am going to be offering makeup classes very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. Lash classes as well, if you don't know how to apply them. This class will solve it all. So, yeah, if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Desiree, for coming on the show.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the dialogue. For those of you out there, definitely make sure you vote for her as well for the Cosign Awards. I will leave a link in the description so that way you can go in and click on it. Thank you for watching. For those of you watching out there on YouTube, please feel free, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, share with your friends, leave a comment down below. You'll be able to listen to this on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify. So definitely go on there, listen to it, show us some love, give us some feedback. And make sure you go to Desiree's Instagram and you let her know, that you listen to this podcast or you watched it and you enjoy some things. So thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Hertz. Peace and love, you guys. Catch you on the next episode. Peace.